Everybody in the Bible had a stick, right?
Hey, the ark is technically a modded stick.
Oh,
so
hot take. Damn, clip that. Clip that. All right, we got some exciting guys on today's episode of Ice Culture Club. I've been following them for a while. They're called Officialstickreviews. It's a very wholesome page, in my opinion. It's like a eye refresher, or like it just makes me feel good whenever it comes up on my page. My politics, some other messed up war story or something. And then someone very wholesome is reviewing a great stick. It touches the like kid inside of me, and I think it touches a lot of people like that, where it's like it just reminds you back when you were using your imagination and out in the forest you found something interesting. We've all done it before. We found interesting sticks. We found what ended up being wands or staffs or guns or swords or whatever you thought it was as a kid. And they've been able to like bottle that into a really cool social media page. It's taken off. It's got millions of subscribers. I have no idea how many sticks they review a day, but it's a lot. And I always look forward to seeing it. And we have two guys that started on here named Logan Juggler and Boone Hogue, right? Hogue, did I get that right?
Yeah, nailed it.
Tell me, I was debating this when I was looking at your page. What is a stick? It could be anything, right? Like what? Like define stick for me.
It's a real controversial subject, so I'm really glad you asked. Really glad to kind of clear the air on this. We get a lot of kind of questions about that on our page. When is a stick a stick? Is a branch a stick? We, through our years of professional stickology is what we call it, our study of sticks, we've discovered that it's not necessarily just the quality or the size of the stick that makes a stick. It's the aura of the stick. It's the magic. If it elicits joy or imagination or some sort of magic, we consider that a stick, because that's the point of it, is to get outside, enjoy yourself, and reconnect with being a kid. And so if you find a stick on the ground and it elicits that imagination, it has an aura about it, we consider that a stick. Now, there are technical sides of that, different rating scales and things like that Logan and I run on sticks, and we can rate the different varying quality of sticks. That does not define what a stick is. We consider the aura to be the defining factor of a stick. That sounds about right, Logan, right?
Yeah, I think also one thing to keep in mind is sticks, have to come typically from the natural environment. And so usually they reflect, the place that the person is finding them in. We had a controversial stick sent to us that was actually from Antarctica, and it caused a big stir in the Stick Nation community. It was a little controversial because it was basically just an icicle, but Stick Nation came to the consensus that because it was from Antarctica, it basically was just like an ice-powered magic enchanted stick. And so, yeah, Boone and I, like he said, we have all these tests and things that we do and can categorize sticks, but really it's up to, the stick finder and Stick Nation to decide what's a good stick or not so great stick.
I mean, you're already breaking my expectations here, that you the aura of an Antarctica ice stick has already surpassed the idea that it has to be wooden, or that it I don't know, that's just blowing my mind that you picked that one out. Because I was going to ask, I guess that's a category I wasn't going to get, but I was going to ask what kind of categories of sticks there are. In my head, if I'm going through them, there's gun, sword, knife, wizard staff, walking staff, wand. What else am I missing here? You guys are the experts. What am I missing here?
Oh, it is deep, Jackson. It is a deep art. Sticks are a deep art. There's a lot of categories that go outside of just the conventional cognitive realization of what a stick is. There's wonky sticks. There's fine art sticks. There are enchanted pieces. There are enchanted sticks, fire enchanted sticks, ice enchanted sticks. Driftwood is its own category. There's modded sticks, which are modified sticks. There are heirloom sticks that have passed down through generations. So it's a vast science and a vast art form, and we are honored to be able to be the ones to kind of be at the forefront of stickology and really finding out what what the limits of sticks are. And what we've discovered is there's not much of a limit. It goes pretty deep. So
have you guys ever ran into I'm seeing you guys, you've reviewed so many sticks. There's so many sticks on your page. You just from the experience of running this page, you've become stick experts. Have you run into like any professors or anybody else is like, you guys aren't legit. This isn't science. I'm the real stick expert. I'm an arborist or like somebody else that really claims to be more expert than you.
Not yet. I think that could happen down the road. But we were chatting with Andrew Huberman there for a little bit in the DMs, and we're still expecting a stick review from him. So if Andrew sees this, we're really looking forward to his scientific, in-depth review of a stick that he found. But I think overall, the Stick Nation community respects us as stick experts because we basically also respect Stick Nation as stick experts. Everyone has the stick, reviewing power within their own heart and soul. And so that's kind of the qualifications for being a stick expert is you just got to find that source that's in you.
How many sticks do you guys review a day? I've noticed you post a bunch on your stories, you're posting on yours, like how many come in a day and how do you like manage the load of that many sticks?
Yeah, we get at least 100 a day. So we're cataloging and saving every stick that comes through. So we've been doing this for about 2 years now. And so we have saved every single stick that's come through. And I think we have about 1 terabyte of sticks archived at the moment, and that's going up every day. So we consider ourselves the number one stick experts in the world, but also the number one stick archivists. I don't think there is another organization that has as many sticks archived as us. So yeah, we get hundreds a day through both our Instagram DMs, TikTok, and email, and it just doesn't stop. So it's just the gift that keeps on giving, and Stick Nation keeps delivering, and we get to see sticks from all over the world. So it's an honor, and we get hundreds every day.
How do you rank them? How do you score them? They're coming in. You're archiving them. I'm sure you have categories. I'm sure you have like what are the different things you're writing down when you have that, and how do you score a great stick, something that's worth posting on your Instagram account?
Really, like Boone was mentioning earlier, it's all about the aura of the stick. That's like the main thing that we look for. And when we first started doing this, we would kind of break the stick down and we would review all of its different qualities, which we still do sometimes. It's swingability, the amount of fun we feel like we would have if we had that stick, things of that nature. But really, as we've gone along, we've really kind of just leaned into the one category that matters is the overall aura of the stick. And so that's really what me and Boone base our choices for the page on.
You've already mentioned one stick that blew my mind, an Antarctica stick. I wouldn't have ever thought we could have an Antarctica stick. But I was going to ask you get them from all over the world. What's the most bizarre stick you've gotten, like from location-wise, that you were like, you opened up your email, your DMs, you said, what the fuck? How did we get that stick?
Like the rareness of it or the location?
Anything that just blew your mind,
My mind always gets blown when they're from places that I'm like, how did you even find out about us? I guess it's the internet, but like we've gotten quite a bit from like Iraq, which is super cool. Some from like Kyrgyzstan, like areas where I wouldn't imagine Stick Nation being, I don't know, coming across. I think that always blows my mind because we really are a global community. We've gotten, like we said, Antarctica, we've gotten sticks from all 7 continents and I think over 120 countries at this point. So any stick that comes from like a far corner of the world that I don't really know much about, I think that always blows my mind. And then the other ones are generational sticks that are like have been passed on through families. So, and we get quite a bit of those, whether it's like a walking staff that a grandson has got passed down from his grandparent who'd had it for 50 plus years, and or like one that a elderly person has had for a very long time. Those ones are always the ones that kind of feel like the craziest to me when I see a stick that's like either from a far corner of the world or one that's like been in a family for decades. Those always blow my mind. We've
gotten sticks from pretty much the whole world. Like I feel like there's only a handful of countries that we haven't got them for, and so really I think the place that we're expecting now is we just want to get one from space. We want to get one from one of the space stations.
That one's going to be crazy hard because they like purposely don't send up flammable material, right? And I know an ice stick. We've proven that an ice can be a stick, but so much of what these sticks are made of wood, and they won't even send up pencils, right?
We got to get a member of Stick Nation in one of those space shuttles. We've gotten them from pretty much we've gotten them from every continent. Like, we get ones from India all the time. We've gotten them from China. We've got them from Vietnam and Laos. I'd have to look at the map and see exactly where we haven't got them, but we've gotten them from pretty much everywhere. So yeah, I mean, the final frontier is space. The moon, Mars.
Any celebrities or people that like you followed and really into it, all of a sudden they're in your DMs with a stick and you were blown away by it?
Dermot Mulroney, he is an actor, and he's been a big fan for a minute, and he was so kind enough to submit a blurb for our book that we just put out called Sticks. He wrote a blurb for it, and he was in a segment on CBS Mornings and took time out of his life to go film a segment stick hunting. So he's someone that I've liked for a while, but being able to talk to him about sticks and have him submit sticks that one's been a really fun one. But we've had a lot of notable people send in stuff.
Yeah, we've had a bunch. We had like Fred again sent us in a pretty awesome stick. Olivia Wilde has sent one in. Jimmy Tatro sent one in. Rainn Wilson.
Jimmy Fallon,
of course. It's funny because we usually don't reach out to them. They kind of just appear in our inbox, and we're like, oh wow, that's crazy that they know about this. So it just goes to show you that anyone can be a part of Stick Nation.
What do your parents think about Stick Nation? I know in my own career in media, it's been difficult to like bridge that gap with older generations of like, what I'm doing is cool, it's interesting, people are into it. Like, was it the Jimmy Fallon moment for you guys? It was like, see, parents were doing something interesting, or was there another like celebrity or somebody else that really like stuck out as like, okay, my kids are doing something interesting here?
Yeah, I think the wholesome side of Official Stick Reviews and it being on the internet and being so global, I think, at least for me, my parents love that. And so I think aside from just like, oh, you're doing meat like stuff, I think they're really, really dug that it was like a thing that united people and that we were bringing a community of people from all over the world together. So my family were really into it and thought it was a really cool thing. So I didn't have to do too much persuading. My grandpa, on the other hand, though, he was hard to it was hard to explain to him what it was, because he would just be like, sticks? Like, people send you actual sticks? But he actually ended up joining Instagram, I like to think, just for the stick account. So my 95-year-old grandpa is now a member of Stick Nation, and sometimes he accidentally DMs me. He's like, well, I'll just get a thing of letters from him, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, grandpa? But yeah, he instantly, once he realized what it was, he was like, I have a stick for you. I've had this for over 30 years, and he wanted to show it off to me. So yeah, my family's been super supportive of it, and I think they just love that fact that Logan and I are bringing a community of people from all walks of life together. So it wasn't a hard sell, I think, on that point. But I don't know about your family, Logan.
Yeah, they all love it. I think the Jimmy Fallon thing, like, pretty much broke everyone's brain when that happened. So it's been pretty awesome.
Now, we've talked about a bunch of very wholesome parts of Stick Nation. It seems like an overly wholesome thing, a lot of positivity coming from it. What are the toxic aspects of the stick culture? Where are the cheaters at? What's the drama in the stick world?
I would say the drama comes down to a question you asked earlier, which is, what is a stick? We get a lot of, not a lot, but some comments of people who are like, that doesn't count, or that is a branch, or a big divisive topic in the community is, should modded sticks have a category of their own, or do they count in the overall stick category? So a lot of the arguments or sort of disagreements in the comment section are about that. So like, that's a carved stick that should be on a different page. That should not be, so, which is kind of nice because that's about as deep as it gets. So,
but that is to say that Stick Nation is such a global, vibrant community. There's a lot of characters in Stick Nation. It's actually something that me and Boone kind of want to highlight a little bit more, are the characters that are found in our community, because they come from all different walks of life. And so, there's lots of different personalities of people that like to go out there and hunt for sticks and have different stories about them. So hopefully someday we can kind of highlight some of these characters that we come across.
Are there any that stick out to you right now? Is there anybody you want to call out right now that's in your interview to say this person's been a great member, they've got a wild story? Anything?
Yeah, there's a guy that we've connected with. He goes by the name The Stickler, and he's a gentleman from the West Coast. He's up in Washington. He found our page, and he just sent us a video of him with this stick, like Horn of Gondor almost, that he had crafted, and he just popped up in our DMs, and it was him blowing this stick that was hollowed out, and he was like, "I'm the Stickler. I challenge anyone who's got a better stick to face off against me." And he's been an awesome supporter of the community. So that's an initial one, because that one felt like it was a Super Smash Brothers new character reveal. It was like, holy, this dude's just adopted this name, The Stickler. And anyway, so that was one that comes to mind.
You guys are taking the stick community public now, like out in the wilds, not just on the internet. You've got a book now, I've heard. You've been on Jimmy Fallon, and then you just did a live event in New York, right, with Anthony Poe. How'd that go?
One of the goals that Boone and I have had since we started this is we always get asked about live events, and we always get asked about doing things in person. And so naturally, we've kind of tried to branch out into that. We did that event in Brooklyn with Anthony Poe. That went awesome, and Boone can tell you all about that. But we're hoping for 2026, we want to do a 12-city actual kind of tour, and do stick events in 12 different cities and have a big tournament. So we're hoping to, because our community is so engaged with us and there's so much interaction, we're hoping that we can get everyone together and have little stick kind of contests, events, and whatnot to kind of showcase the vibrant community that we found. But yeah, Boone can tell you all about that.
Yeah, so we did the first ever in-person stick tournament. Over 100 people showed up, and it was 2 hours of people just showing off sticks that some had just found before the tournament, or ones people had for a long time, and we crowned a winner, had a trophy for them. It was really fun, and it was a really just wholesome afternoon spent with members of Stick Nation. So one of the goals of the page has always been to, we have this massive community in the phone, on the internet. We want to bring people outside and connect people together. So that's always been a big goal of ours. And so with our book Sticks that just came out, that's a big thing, is we wanted to make this book the physical representation of the wholesomeness and positivity that's on our page, and put it in a physical format. So the book turned out really awesome. We partnered with 10 Speed Press, who's an imprint of Penguin Random House, and they did an awesome job putting this book out. And so we're starting to want to do now things out in the real world, because it's fun to share sticks from around the world, but it's even more fun to connect together in person outside of just doing it on the internet. So we're wanting to get outside, do live events in 2026, and get the Stick Nation out and connecting together in person. So we have a lot of fun stuff on deck.
You've had a lot of people, old, young, different races, religions, regions. What have you seen sociology-wise between who likes what kinds of sticks? Do kids like a certain kind of stick and adults like a certain kind of stick? What have you noticed amongst the different demographics you have?
Ultimately, I think that age hasn't been something that I've noticed too much, honestly. It feels like sticks are a thing that kind of puts everyone on the same playing field in a way. Old people and young people, everyone kind of goes back to being a kid, it feels like. And to me, that's kind of the most powerful part about it, is that it just feels like such a natural human thing, is to go out and find a stick. And seemingly everywhere in the world has this experience. And so I think that I haven't noticed age being that big of a factor. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I think, like you said, Logan, sticks are just so simple and human, and everybody from around the world, clearly, as you can see from our page, have done that at some point in their life and enjoy it. So there have been like differences in terms of what type of sticks come from different regions. And that's another cool thing about the page is you get to see places from all over the world, because I mean it's people sharing sticks, but it's people outside sharing sticks. So like in different areas of the world there'll be specific types of sticks that you see more of, you know, whether it's like driftwood sticks in more coastal cities, or more like we'll get like cactus skeletons that are like really cool, these really cool patterns, but they come from specific parts of the world. So yeah, I've noticed less kind of sociological differences, but more so just different types of sticks from regions. It's kind of just a really cool example of how everybody, you know, we all have differences, but we can come together and connect over something as simple as a stick. So it's been actually a really nice reminder of that.
Well, you guys have kind of touched on it throughout this, but how did this even start, and what was the moment you knew you had caught something on, that you'd really figured something out?
We started this in September of 2023. Boone and I and several of our friends were on a camping trip down in Moab, and we were just hanging out and partying and having fun, and we went on a little hike, and I found a stick on one of the hikes, and we were all kind of just talking about how nice it is when you find a stick on a hike, and we were just kind of like riffing about that and being reminded about how cool it is when you're out in nature and you find one that you like want to bring home. And so we just decided in the moment, we were like, hey, we should make an Instagram page highlighting sticks. And I don't think Boone or I thought that it would be, I honestly thought someone had probably already done it. And then when we were like, oh, I don't think anyone else has done it, we just started doing it. And then we didn't even realize how big of a thing it was. But it's funny because in the first video, I was like, hey, what's up, Stick Nation? And now to see like millions of people that know that phrase has been pretty like surreal, because it was just pretty much started as like a friendly bit between all of our friends.
Well, I've got two segments for you here. And you mentioned Stick Nation. I like to think of myself as being part of Stick Nation. I enjoy sticks, but I've never had a stick reviewed before. I've never been on the account to know for sure I am a Stick Nation. So I've picked a stick out here from a local park in Brooklyn, and I want to show it to you and see what you think about it and see if I can join Stick Nation, if I have what it takes, you know?
Yeah, we live for this.
This one right here, which is difficult in my small apartment, and I won't hit the sign behind me. A stick I found in a local Brooklyn park, which if you know Brooklyn, which you've been into recently, it is rare to find a good stick like this. It's rare to find one that's not already cleaned up. It's rare to find the ones on the ground already. It's rare to find one this large, you know? This reminds me
curves.
of a wizard staff, you know? Something that Gandalf would have used, you know? Something that maybe Moses from the Bible could have used to part the Red Seas. It's very solid, not too heavy, but not too light either. I feel like if I put my full weight on it and used it like as a jumping stick, it wouldn't break. But at the same time, it's not burdensome. Like if I used it on a hike, I wouldn't get exhausted using this as a walking stick. So please let me know, is this a stick worthy of Stick Nation? That's
how it's done, Jackson. That was an incredible review of it. You covered the bases. You explained the nuances of it. You clearly are a member of Stick Nation. So I just want to put that out there. You're clearly a natural at this.
I'm honored.
And just my first thoughts off that, I love the curve happening there. I love the shape. I love the flowing grain that's happening. There's a lot of kind of interesting plot twists going on. I would expect it to be more straight, so I really like the curve and then the curve again. So that is clearly a wonky wizard staff, and I'm just going to give it my personal rating. I'd have to be there to hold it, to get the feel for it, to really get the aura of it, but I'm going to go ahead and give that an 8.3. That's an above average, really solid stick. Logan?
Out of 10, right? Not 100, right?
Yeah, out of 10.
Okay, all right. Wow.
On this Stickter scale, that's how we rate them.
Yeah. I mean, this is a great find. Knowing that it came from Brooklyn just gives it that extra like grittiness. You know, it's seen some things. You know, it's been weathered and worn. Brooklyn's such a great, vibrant city with so many different types of people that I feel like this kind of is a great representation of that place in general. There's, you know, you can feel the magic from it as the way that you're holding it. So it's definitely got some crazy aura. I really like the shape as well. I think that it definitely, it probably was dropped by some type of powerful wizard in the past. And I think you're very lucky to hold on to that. And I'm glad that it found you.
It's a very windy day in Brooklyn today. And I get the thought that maybe the wind or the wizard, whoever, blew it over just for me, just for this meeting. This wouldn't have been there otherwise. Just an hour before this was grabbed. So something was out there getting me a good stick.
You found that an hour and a half ago?
Yeah, just an hour ago.
Yeah, that's how it's done. That stick found you. It was waiting. That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us. It was beautiful.
I've got one game to play with you guys before I let you go, and I guess before we play it, let me know if there's anything else you want to tell our audience about the sticks or about Stick Nation or your channel or anything.
I would say just if anyone here and anyone who watches this has a stick that you'd like to share, has a family member that's had a stick for a long time, anybody or any stick that you would like to share, reach out to us. You can DM us or email officialstickreviews@gmail.com. Our whole point is to not gatekeep and to share as many sticks as we possibly can. So if you've got a cool stick and a cool story and just something that you want to share with Stick Nation, please don't hesitate to send us a stick. It might take a minute to get to it because we get hundreds a day, but we do go through personally, Logan and I, through the DMs and look at them. So it would be an honor to share your stick. And if you have one that you want to share and you're listening, don't hesitate to reach out. And the other note is, if there is a city, if anyone listening has a city that they'd like to see a stick tournament in, please reach out to us, because we're starting that process of getting together a tour to go check out the country and do some stick tournaments. So let us know where you want us to come visit.
All right, well, here's how the segment's going to work. I have a lot of famous sticks, and I guess maybe to start even, what do you guys think is the most famous stick in history or in literature or anything like that? And then we'll go into, I want to do a bit of a ranking matchup of which stick is the best stick of all the sticks.
There's so many good ones. The one that always comes to my mind is Gandalf's staff. It's just iconic. It's powerful. It had so many, big pops in the movies. People recognize it. It's just the classic wizard staff.
Yeah, one that comes to mind for me initially is Gandalf. And the other two that come to mind are Staff of Moses. Obviously, that's got historical importance. But
did I get that right? Or did I say Noah earlier? Did I get that completely wrong on my stick? I meant Moses on my stick as well. Maybe Noah probably has it. They all have sticks. Everybody in the Bible had a stick, right?
Hey, the Ark is technically a modded stick.
Oh.
So
hot take. Damn, clip that.
Yeah. But the other one is Rafiki's staff from Lion King. That one always comes to mind. That's a beautiful piece. I'd love to see that in the real world and be able to hold it. And I love the enchanted mods that he's put on it. So I think those are the three that always come to mind: Gandalf, Moses, and Rafiki.
I love the terminology, the mods, the enchanted mods. All right, so I've got my list over here. I'm glad you added to it, because I had Gandalf's on there, but I did not have Rafiki's, so I want to see how this goes. You're going to have to come to agreement on this. I don't know how to play the game otherwise, so you two are just going to have to come to agreement as quickly as you can. It's going to be either or to see which one's the best. There's, like you did with sticks, it's about the aura. It's not about it's how you feel about this stick, and at the end, we're going to crown the best stick, the most famous stick in history or in literature. So we'll start it off with Harry Potter's wand or Voldemort's wand.
My thoughts, Harry Potter. Logan?
I think we got to go with Harry on this. Can't side with Voldemort. You just can't.
I believe you'd also call it the Elder Wand if you're a Potterhead, So
yeah, doesn't it have? Yeah, it's got a phoenix feather in it. Is that right?
Same as something Voldemort's has. It's been a little bit since I read the books, but I do think it's. I agree with you guys. All right, Harry Potter's wand or the shillelagh from the Celtics logo.
I got to go the shillelagh. I'm like that. You don't think about that often, and when you do, it hits. So
yeah, that's a really deep cut. I agree with Boone.
All right, Celtics shillelagh or Notre Dame shillelagh?
Celtics.
You're going Celtics, Boone?
Yeah.
I love the Notre Dame logo a little bit more. It's got a little bit more aura to me, so I'm gonna.
To be honest, I can't even picture the Notre Dame. So let's go with that one.
All right, Notre Dame it is. It won't really matter, I think, because there'll be some sticks near. They're just going to take over anyways. But Notre Dame shillelagh or Gandalf's staff?
Gandalf. It's no contest.
Gandalf.
Gandalf's staff or Donatello's staff from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Gandalf.
I got a soft spot for Donatello. I love the Ninja Turtles.
Think of the stick, though, Logan. Think of the stick, not the turtle, the stick.
But the stick finds the stick wielder, so that's something that we got to take into context. I do like Donatello a little bit more as a guy. I think I'd want to hang out with him a little bit more than Gandalf. But that being said, you are right. Gandalf's staff is just objectively a better stick.
All right, Gandalf's stick or staff or Goku's power pole?
Gandalf's my guy.
Again, I love Goku. He's my guy. Huge Dragon Ball Z fan. But yeah, Gandalf's staff is it's too good.
Moses' staff or Gandalf's staff? Now, don't forget Moses. He parted the Red Sea. He turned that thing into a snake, I believe, at one point, and scared the pharaohs. So they're both, set people off on big adventures.
Man, that was so hard.
I think I still got to go Gandalf's staff for this one. Moses' staff is, it's great. There's a lot to love about it. It's definitely powerful. I mean, parting the Red Sea is, definitely gives it a high magical, type of enchantment aura. Turning into a snake is also really powerful. But at the end of the day, Gandalf's staff is just super iconic, and it just connects with me a little bit more. So that's why I got to go Gandalf.
Yeah, I'm going Gandalf. I love the shape-shifting element and the mystical element of Moses' staff. However, he beat a Balrog with that thing. You know what I mean? He was at Helm's Deep with that thing. It's got a certain kind of magic that I just can't overlook. So Gandalf takes it for me.
I really feel like Moses is being defeated here purely based on the fact that Peter Jackson made some really good movies. So Peter Jackson, give the Bible the same treatment you did Lord of the Rings, and we might have a competition. Next up is Gandalf's staff or Willy Wonka's walking stick. Walked out there, got stuck in the thing. He does the tumble, epic moment. Yeah,
I'm a sucker for Wonka. I mean, that's a really easy choice, but then I almost want to go with the not obvious one.
I gotta go with Willy Wonka's cane.
Yeah, I want to see where this goes.
But it has to be the original Wonka played by
Gene Wilder.
By Gene Wilder. It has to be the Wonka played by Gene Wilder. None of the other Wonkas in my mind are Willy Wonka. There's only one Wonka, and it's Gene Wilder's Wonka. And his cane is powerful. And there's a lot of whimsy to his cane as well. He brought a lot of joy too. His candy, his factory, the Oompa Loompas, the whole thing. So I got to go Wonka's cane.
For the sake of speed, my new rule is if someone changes the stick, that's the stick we're going with. So Willy Wonka's stick is just beat Gandalf, in my opinion. Next up, Willy Wonka's walking stick versus Dr. House's cane.
Wonka.
Love House, but he's a little too snarky.
Wonka's walking stick or Rafiki's modded enchanted stick?
I kind of want to see... Logan, you call this one. I called the last one.
I mean, I'm switching gears, going Rafiki. It's iconic. So
I love Logan's ability to change his mind. Some people get stuck in their ways, but Logan's chose a new stick almost every time, and I love it. Last one, Rafiki stick or fish stick?
Oh, Rafiki.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't eat that stick. Fish sticks you can eat. That's not a stick you've talked about much this episode.
Very true. But Rafiki's stick is just iconic, so it's got to be the winner.
Okay, that's it, guys. We're crowning a winner. Official stick experts have come on and said Rafiki's stick is the winner, is the number one stick of all the famous sticks in literature and history. Thanks, guys. That was fun to play. Man, it was cool to have you guys on. I've been following you guys for a long time. I think there's going to be a lot of people excited to hear your thoughts on the different sticks we talked about today. And join in on Stick Nation. Their account is Official Stick Reviews on Instagram. I assume you guys are probably on TikTok as well.
Yep,
on TikTok as well. Check them out. It is legit a very wholesome refresh every time it hits my page. So get in there and follow them. Thanks, Boone. Thanks, Logan. It's a good time.
Thanks, Jackson.
Thanks, Jackson. Appreciate it.